Hey everybody, welcome back to Light Up the Woods, my YouTube channel. I am so glad you're here. I'm actually working on editing this week's Testimony Tuesday as we speak. And I just want to let you guys know that this week is going to be just the first half of this testimony. And next week, I'm going to show you the second half. But before we get into that, if you are new, welcome. If you are old, you already know what time it is. Yeah, exactly. Cue the intro, or wherever it comes from.
Light up the woods, light up the woods, one syllable at a time. Light up the woods, light up the woods, one video at a time. Light up the woods, light up the woods, one syllable at a time. Light up the woods, light up the woods, one video at a time.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Testimony Tuesday. And today we have Brianna with us, and she's going to be bringing us our testimony this week.
Yeah.
Brianna, can you introduce yourself to the people?
Hey people, I'm Brianna, and testimony time.
Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I am a young adult living in the Bronx, New York, just trying to stay saved and make it happen.
Oh wow! Yes, Lord.
But oh, I sing.
Well, very well.
I sing well. And I write a little bit. We getting there. We gotta work on it. I'm not as good as Woodsy, but
what? Get your life.
Woods out here. She just writes hooks.
Anyways,
for fun.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For that. So literally, I'm just gonna give you the floor. I just want to tell you that the camera is right here. So if you want to look directly at folks for a point or something, you look there. If not, go wherever you want to go.
All right.
And the floor is yours.
All right. Alright, so boom.
She's from the Bronx.
I'm from New York, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, so where do I start? I'm gonna start when I was a youngin', when I was a little one in these streets. Going to a little private school. You think because you go to private school you'd be protected from bullying? You're not.
Oh no,
you know, I don't know why I had this misconception that, like, you know, public school was the place that all these terrible things happen to children.
Because that's what the TV tells you.
That's what TV tells you, you know? Recess, I'm pretty sure that was a public school, and there was a bare foolishness going on in that show.
Yeah.
Anyways, I went to a little private Christian school, and for the most part it was fine. And then you start to grow up, and like me and my little bogle jeans, we get a little heavy, right? I was a little chunk monk, okay? Isn't that like an ice cream flavor?
A chunky monkey.
Chunky monkey. That was me. I was a little chunky monkey in elementary school and middle school. Now it's okay. Anyways, so I got bullied a lot in middle school, and
so did I, girl. You're not alone.
Girl,
especially when I got chunky.
You see what I'm saying? I don't know what it is about the bigger people that offend people, but anyways. And then I would go, I'm like, mommy, like, you're talking about me, you don't like me. And she'd be like, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt you.
Can I tell you I hate that saying? Because sticks and stones make bruises, and those fade away, and they stop hurting. But some words...
Listen here. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, okay?
If you don't quote scripture,
I didn't say that.
Hello?
God did. And it's the truth, okay? Death. Bare death was spoken upon me, bro. And it's not just school, right? I come home. I lived with my great-grandmother. I still do. Actually, no, I don't. She moved maybe like a year ago. But I lived with my great-grandmother. My mom was always at work. She's a nurse, so she works like 12-hour shifts. And she was no better, bro. And you know, like those family members that, like, they're saying it to help you or motivate you. Unquote, quote unquote. Like, oh, yeah, you look thick. Yeah, put on some weight, son.
That was my grandma every time she came to America.
I used to be like, Grandma, you don't gotta tell me. I already got the kids at school telling me this. And I come home and I think this is my little safe
I just
haven.
didn't notice, Grandma. Wow. News to me. Thank you for helping open my eyes, Lord.
She was the worst, but I love her. But she didn't know what she was doing. But it was a lot. So it's like everywhere I turned, it was just like this bombardment of negativity, and so that weighed a lot on me and my psyche, and it started this terrible cycle of self-loathing, and then I'm an emotional eater, right? So when I get in my feelings, I pick up the Ben & Jerry.
Which makes matters worse.
And throws me deeper into the self-loathing. Like, it's a terrible
cycle,
self-destructive cycle, right? So I was like, all right, cool. I traded the emotional eating, and I then turned to self-mutilating. So that's the technical term for like cutting yourself.
Yeah.
So that's what became my life. I would go and I would like take anything. I didn't know what, there's no manual for like cutting yourself. Now, I mean, they show TV with shows with people doing these things, but back then I would take like the backs of earrings, I would take my keys. Lord knows I don't know how I didn't get what's that, tetanus? What is that?
Something.
What are those, the tea that you get from rust and nastiness? Yes, I would take my keys, my back of my earrings, anything honestly I could find to just
penetrate your flesh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that took me a while to even see that was even hurting me in another way. Cause you get numb to these things, and, you know, it's like nobody cares, nobody wants to help, nobody wants to know what's going on for real.
Yeah,
it's real surface with a lot of people. So what had happened to me, I was in church, and shout out to Girl Stephanie. And my choir director, she had given me this song to sing, and we weren't singing it right away. It take a while. Sometimes we learn songs, we put them down, come back to them,
build a repertoire.
And so she gave me this song, and it was about the love of Jesus, and I was just like, you know, people just give you songs because I think you'd really sound good on this, right? That's not Auntie Michelle's process. She's more, God put this in my spirit, and you need to sing it. And I'm like, I don't want to sing about the love of God because I don't feel it, and God doesn't love me. Because if that's the case, why do I feel like this? Why do these people just keep coming out of the blue to just tear down all types of self-esteem, all types of self-worth, everything? Like, I was just like, if this is it, God, you can keep it. At this point, I don't want it because it's not really doing anything for me at this point. So I was like, all right, cool, and I kind of learned it. All the while still self-mutilating and everything. And then I had gotten into this relationship that always, you know, it always seemed like a bed of roses in the beginning, and then you just find out later on bare foolishness, slackness, lies, cheating, and stealing, and more slackness. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't help. More foolishness, right? So then that's where this is rock bottom now, right? So not only is it the people around me, not only is it my family, it's this one person that I was like, you know, I'm looking to you for my only sanity, solace, and you're taking it and you're throwing it away. And I couldn't deal. I had a whole mental breakdown, and in that breakdown I attempted suicide. Right, I went home after a whole argument with him. I went home, nobody was home, and I went into the cabinet and I picked up the biggest bottle of Tylenol I could find, and it was just like, I had all these pills lined up, and I would take them like in succession, and I was just like, yo, at this point,
So you didn't like chug about it. You took them.
No, it was a very and I don't know why. It was just very meticulous. I'm gonna take them one by one by one. I was just like, I don't even want this to be some quick chug. I was just like,
that's a deep hurt, because that means you're literally deciding this is actually what I want to do. Time and every pill. Making that decision.
I was like, yep, this is it.
Wow.
I don't want to do this anymore. And then God was like, sis, who told you I was done with you? So my mom came home and I got kind of scared. Shook it. I was like, okay. I stopped taking them. She went about her business, her day. She didn't even really notice. It's okay, Mom. She didn't know. And I went to bed that day, and I woke up fairly early into the sleep, and I was just like, God download. I don't know if it was God or if it was me, because I got this inkling. I was like, Brianna, I understand. Okay, you want to take your fast track ticket to hell. That's cool, but let's think about the person that really ignited this decision that you made. He's not on the fast track to heaven right now, right? Hopefully down the line he'll get his life together. But if he doesn't, what you're essentially doing is damning yourself to an eternity in hell with him. If you're trying to get away from him by taking yourself out, in the long run, you're just gonna end up spending eternity with him. And I woke up and I was like, that makes sense. On second thought, I don't want to do this anymore. Whoa. I said, God, I take it back. I did.
You can't take it back. You swallowed them.
Exactly. So this is when I went to my mom, right? This was the scariest thing I ever did.
Whoa.
Yep. I said, I don't know how much I took. I don't know if I really go to sleep, if I'm gonna wake up right now. So I'm gonna have to go to the hospital now. So I kind of interrupted. God interrupted. But I physically stopped myself from laying down to go back to sleep. To God knows, who knows what. So yeah, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I did something stupid. I just need to know if I'm gonna die. Like, just let me know if I'm gonna die. And she was like, no, you're not gonna die, but we're gonna take you to the hospital now. I'm like, okay. I went to the hospital, kid you not. So of course, before they give me the whole mental, before I talked to any psychiatrist or anything, they had to clear me medically, because they were like, oh, you took Tylenol. Apparently, Tylenol has this terrible effect on the liver if taken in succession.
Oh yeah.
All these things. I took painkillers. That's it. All right.
Yeah.
In some weird thing in my head, I was like, oh, painkillers. I'm killing the pain that I'm feeling.
Oh wow. You know, I didn't even think about it that way.
That's what I say. I said, oh well, this is just perfect. Y'all supposed to kill pain. Kill it
forever.
I'm so ready for it to be done. Like,
yeah.
Man's was like, oh, so your liver, sweetie, if you would have taken a few more, your liver would have went into shutdown, failure, started to just.
Wait, you stopped taking them when your mom came home, right?
Yes.
So if you had taken a few more,
my liver would have shut down. And you can't live without liver. I would have died for real. Maybe not at that moment or that day, but my liver would have went into failure.
Can I ask a clarifying question, because I like to make up the rest of the story in my head and I shouldn't do that. Was your mother supposed to come home the time she did?
You know, I don't know. I have no idea where she was. I cannot to this day think of where she went, because she's usually home, and my brother wasn't there either. I was just like, maybe she picked him up from somewhere. I don't know. But she was not home. I was here by myself, and I was just like, yup, this is it. This is the day I'm doing it, and that's it. And then she came home, and I was like, oh man. Like I was mad. I was like, damn it.
Okay.
Yeah. So they told me, sis, you just made it. Congratulations. Now what we're gonna do? We're gonna get you to talk to somebody. And I said, okay, right. Proceeded to tell them the whole story. I got into this big fight with my boyfriend. Broke up with my boyfriend. I really just felt like I was worthless at this point, because you know, cheating and secession will do that to you, you know. So I went. I told them everything, and they were like, "Okay, guess what? You're not cleared to go home. we're gonna keep you on suicide watch. Yeah, so I stayed in the hospital that day.
I did not know that.
I don't know, the mental health system in New York has got to get better. I went to a room that was, honestly, it's way bigger here. It was like a, y'all can't see it, but it was small and it was all white. It's so true, it's white and it was like padded. The doors, the walls, the ceilings were padded. Remember, I had my phone still with me when they transferred me there, and I was trying to call somebody, and they watch you through a window. It's like a little window through the door. They let you keep your phone? They didn't know I had my phone, because when I tried to, he seen me, he's like, you have your phone still? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, so we're gonna give it here. I was like, okay. Boom. Next morning, I wake up. They have to talk to 2 more people, right? They're like, okay, we're gonna try this again. We're gonna talk to you and we're gonna evaluate whether or not you are a threat to yourself anymore. So I said, okay, cool. They asked me about the event. I told them about the event. They go, all right, my mom came, and they sat us down and they were like, unfortunately, I do not think that she is okay to go home. So here's the option. We can either get 2 other psychiatrists to sign off saying that she is not well and that we can have her committed to a hospital involuntarily. And involuntarily means that we had to force her to do this. Or we can have you right now sign this saying that you're willing to go to this hospital, which was in Narnia. It was up past Rye, New York. I don't even know where the place was. And so here comes, like, my mom starts crying, I'm start crying, and I'm like, so you're telling me it's either I go voluntarily or I go involuntarily? Yeah. Like, there is no option where I go home.
Right.
And they're like, oh, absolutely not. So the choice is yours on what you want it to look like.
Oh boy. Even as I'm editing it, it's still hitting me, you know? I really hope that you got something from this first half of the testimony. The second half will be up next week. In the meanwhile, feel free to comment, encourage my guest. And if you'd like to be a guest, feel free to hit me up. We can make it happen, even if virtually. And yeah, I'll see you next week. But until I see you again, you have a duty to shine your light in this world. So go on and light up the world. Bye.